Good morning to everyone. Today, TraderTools is presenting the second in our series of webinars entitled FX Aggregation, Doing It Best. This comprises informal, one-on-one conversations between TraderTools and some of the current practitioners of trading through aggregation, to enlighten existing customers of ours or potential customers in the general FX market space with the importance of FX aggregation and how TraderTools aggregation helps our customers achieve increased efficiency and profits through relationship pricing. During the webinar, if you have any questions for me or the other panelists, please just enter them in the chat panel, and we'll try to get to some of them at the end of the webinar. So thank you and welcome everyone. This, our second webinar, will be focusing on our LightFX offering, which we introduced earlier this year. We'll explain what it includes and how to use it effectively. While the dealing platform has been used by banks for many years before LightFX, UBP was one of our early adopters of it in the LightFX package. And Francesco Castiglione, or Casti as he's known, or at least known by us, saw immediately how TraderTools could help UBP achieve its business goals and spearheaded the initiatives just into the bank. So Casti is a great person to be speaking about the benefits of LightFX. So welcome, Casti. We'll also be speaking with Eran Ganot, who worked closely with Casti to maximize the value that Casti and UBP gets out of our trading platform. So thanks again to Casti and Eran, and thank you and welcome to all the attendees. We have a fairly large audience, which confirms that the message is already out there and getting out there even faster. And hope that you all find the presentation interesting and will join us for follow-up presentations as well. So let's begin. So quickly, I just want to run through the agenda. Begin with some introductions, and we'll take you through LightFX, what it is, and how it differs from our enterprise aggregation solution. Casti will talk about the UBP LightFX story. Eran will take us through the LightFX onboarding process and how easy it is to start trading with LightFX in almost no time. And then we'll go through some of the tips we have for achieving optimal success trading through LightFX. I'll be looking to keep the webinar to about 30 minutes or so, so hopefully we're able to go the webinar as fast as our LightFX onboarding process. Let's move quickly to the introductions. So first, my name is Aharon Haber. I'll be leading the discussion. I'm responsible for product direction here at TraderTools, and I've been with TraderTools for about 9 years. I think we went too far. Let me just move back. Eran Ganot has been a big part of the success of LightFX. He's responsible for the operational design that makes the onboarding process and production environments so streamlined. And he's responsible for the business relationships with both the liquidity providers and the LightFX traders and users. So he wears a lot of hats. He's not wearing it now, but welcome, Eran. Quick intro to TraderTools for those of you who don't know us yet. We've been developing solutions for FX trading for many years, primarily for global and regional banks and brokers. This last year, we've put our major focus on our aggregation offering, and specifically on our LightFX package, which is our on-demand cloud-based aggregation service, but more on that later. And to introduce UBP and our guest panelist, Francesco Castiglione, or Casti as he's known, has been at, he's the head of Spot FX at UBP and has been with the bank for 11 years. Casti, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about UBP in general and FX at UBP in particular.
Hi, everybody. Okay, UBP, as you can see on the WebEx, private banks existing since '69. We are something around 1,300 employees now. Location a bit of around all the world, but basically in Europe. Our work is we private bankers, asset management for private customers and some institutionals, quite some, and we are specialized in alternative investment, or was hedge funds, etc., etc. I'm in the business since '89, almost always on spot. banks like Swiss Bank Corp when it was existing. Then for branch of HSBC, then again for UBS, I left just before the merge with SBC, Rothschild, and now since more than 11 years in UBP.
So, Casti, can you give maybe the audience a short background of your business? Who are typical customers, and why they choose to do business with you at UBP?
Private bank base customer. That's the first big stake of our business. We are doing some prop trading, but mainly we act for some big investors. I mean, big players. This is the main activity we have on desk. We're doing clearly spot options and precious metals. Precious metals has become mainly maybe our main activity since 3 to 4 years. As everywhere, since some months, the volume have came down, but we're trying to quit that. And for this reason, we were looking for something to optimize the pricing we were getting since many years now from single bank platforms, from banks. We are using their own platforms, and the problem that with the quite amount of single bank platforms, at the end it is not physically manageable to have the better service. When you have, let's take a simple example, euro-dollar. If you have 10 windows open or 12 windows open with a price in euro-dollar, you can never know. You can never be sure you hit the price. That's why we started to look at an aggregator, and we started to look at it in middle to 11. I started to speak with the big banks, what they were hearing about aggregators from their customers, the people to which they were giving liquidity, and started with to look after 3 of them, and the 6 months of contacts with people that were using them with the LPs, and just having a look of with the philosophy of the different aggregators. We decided to start with TraderTools. I think we started discussion in February or March 12. We decided to start to go for it. We decided to go for it in early May, and we had the first trades in it May. I think that it was quite nice. As a result, after 3 weeks, we started the job we were in and trading in it. Maybe not with all the LPs, but with 3 or 4 of them, and that was quite a nice achievement, because with the other people I was talking with, they were more talking about 8 to 12 months in order to be active in it and to have an efficient service.
Well, we're going to get into a little more of that later. So you've been live, let's say, late May, early June on LightFX. Right. So just to give an idea, how large is the desk? How many traders? How many sales?
We are 8 traders.
Right.
We are 4 more concentrated in spot, precious metals and FX. 2 people looking after options, and 2 people are looking after forwards.
Excellent. Okay, very good. So move on. I think it will be useful to just give people understanding of what LightFX is. Not everybody might be familiar with it. So just to go through some of the main bullet points. LightFX is basically the hosted cloud-based version of our enterprise trading solution. Enterprise solution has been in production at banks and brokers for at least the last 5 years or so. Fully hosted means that we take care of all the hardware and software and support, so both pre-production and production support. As LightFX is accessed over the internet, it requires very little local IT support at our customers. But even though LightFX is hosted, what distinguishes our offering, I think, from maybe some of the other ones that are hosted, is that each customer has its own private system, including its own database and its own set of liquidity provider connectors. And that means that one customer's environment is not affected by other customers, and that we can tailor the environment to how the customer requires it, such as which instruments to subscribe to, and how to configure them, and so on. But more importantly, it's how the fact that we have partitioned our hosting to each individual customer is how we deliver relational pricing. Because institutions' private set of liquidity providers, and each customer has a separate set of liquidity providers, know exactly who's getting the prices and adjust them in order to get more flow from their customer, which is our customer, as an example for UBP. Relationship pricing ensures best execution. Best execution does not only mean the best prices, but it also means the best fill performance. So that really is what we think differentiates our solution from some of the others that are out in the market. In addition, we don't and never have charged liquidity providers. Let me go back. We don't charge liquidity providers for providing prices to our system. We offer LightFX as a pay-as-you-use service, so each potential customer can first test the system out without any upfront cost, and we pay for the use of the system after seeing the value it offers. In addition, LightFX also includes STP, straight-through processing, which we manage through industry standard STP services. So, in a nutshell, that's what we offer in our LightFX offering. Maybe let's go to the heart of the webinar, and that's a case study at UBP. But now I'll turn back to Casti and discuss what his experience was bringing LightFX into UBP. I think, Casti, you mentioned that you had before you brought the LightFX solution, you had approximately 12 single bank platforms. Is that correct?
Exactly. Maybe even some more, but we were not using all of them at the end because it was getting a bit complicated. But just to come back of what you said before, one of the decisions, one of the main point that made us decide to go with TraderTools one, of what I know, it was the only platform that was not charging the LPs. That made quite a good big difference when you were speaking about relationship with the LPs. We were thinking clearly that it was a nonsense for LPs to have to pay for the liquidity they were giving. They give a service, but then they still have to pay for it. It was ridiculous for us. And then you get it through the quality of the pricing, because with naives, if they charge and the spread, this is as simple as that. And secondly, that there was no upfront price. There was no one-off. There was a solution that was on the same business model, but it was not completing all the needs we were asking for. So right. When we started the discussion, we said, okay, we have 12 banks giving us and more giving us the single bank platform. With the tools, we had the possibility to have, you were at that time, you were with 11 or 12 banks, Eran, I don't remember. But they were all banks that we were having limits with, so it was not a problem. We decided to go on with the discussion with the LPs, if they would agree to quote us, to show us prices, to give us the liquidity in the platform, in TraderTools. And logically everybody accepted, as they were already giving us the liquidity in the single bank platform. That's a step. That was first little prerequisite we had. So as when everybody was agreeing to give us the liquidity, we decided to go on with TraderTools. Can you just give me the next
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Then on with the tool, what was really interesting, that we were not talking with 12 people. We had the relationship in terms of onboarding, the onboarding process. We were speaking to 2 people. technical and organization side, it was Eran, and on the other side, it was the person that was in charge of the relationship with the LPs. It helped a lot to win the process, as per the good relationship you had on your side with the LPs and on our side too, where we were having good relationship with them, as we are clearly market users. We are not market takers. We are not market makers. Then on the configuration, the IT team here in UBP had a very good contact with Eran. It was really easygoing, clear, honest conversation with what was possible, what was not. And on technical side, it was quite easy. It's quite easy to install the platform. On we decided to install it on standalone PC with DSL with an IDSL access that is not going through all the walls we have on the bank systems. That these have been quite easy and quick. I know what was maybe the delay when we started to organize the link and when started to work with the platform, but it was quite easy. It has been done quite quick. Then on the plugging of the LPs, I think we started with 1, 2. We made them one by one. As I said before, we had limits with all the LPs. It was an easy process to go through. 3 weeks between the one we started to trade with the tool, and that was quite quick and really efficient. Actually, we never had any connectivity problems with the platform. It's working quite efficiently. Yeah, no.
So it was faster than you expected then. Sorry. So it's faster than you expected. Right.
Exactly. A lot of stability, and you can really rely on it.
Okay, that's terrific. I think some of what you had mentioned in the beginning really goes to the heart of model. Exactly the way you said it. We're putting a service for our customers, for the banks, for the consumers of liquidity. We don't believe that it makes sense to charge liquidity providers. We understand why others do, because it's easier to get a platform into a bank if you don't charge them. We understand that. Part of the reason why we move to a LightFX model, where we want our customers to understand what relationship pricing really means, to be able to try out our platform without any upfront cost, just to see that the prices they're getting actually matches what their expectations are. So it really does go to the heart of our model, and was something that was verified last week when I went to go speak to the liquidity providers in London, a large group, and some of them are actually on this call as well. So the fact that we don't charge them is clearly something that they recognize, and something that I think is reflected both in the prices that are coming in as well as the executions that we're getting from the liquidity providers on the platform. So I think that was certified by what it said. So just to summarize, what you said is that the onboarding process was really fewer issues than you had expected. There might have been something with some connectivity that you mentioned. Maybe Eran can talk about that if he remembers it when we get to Eran. But really, it was a fast process, and you're up and running with all the liquidity providers. Now that you're up, and now that you're able to see the prices and the executions, what's your experience? The fast and the prices themselves.
What was interesting, since the beginning, the pricing was quite more interesting than in single bank platforms. This year. Then I started to work with Eran. We first 2-3 months were observation. Then we started with Eran to analyze the pricing we were getting from the LPs, to see what was our need of liquidity. For example, we are asking for a bucket of pricing in the 20 million euro dollar from say all the LPs. It was ridiculous at the end for us because we never using that LPs. It just it pollutes to the best. It makes the system less quick, less efficient. So we just had a look at what was our average ticket, what was our trading style. Helped me to adjust the liquidity, to ask for the liquidity we were really need to the LPs, and does then improve the quality of the pricing in terms of spreads. What helped us in front of the customers to give a better service for you, a better execution. Sometimes we are put in competition with other people, so this kind of analysis helps. And, the next step will be to select the best LPs in each currency pair to have maybe even a best pricing from them. Somewhere for us, it's not very helpful to have 12 people giving us euro-dollar prices. On the stats, and we're getting stats every end of months. We can have them for weeks, I think, even for every day. I think if we ask TraderTools to see who is the best bank in terms of pricing for us, and what we see since 2-3 months that in the 5-6 places we have always the same bank. So it will be interesting to try to take off the other banks that are above the 5 or 6 LPs that are giving us the best service or that are getting the biggest stake of business from us, and see if we can even get a better pricing for the remaining LPs. Then we
you're talking to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I'll continue. Saying that you've spoken a lot about the trading that you're doing. Can you say anything about how it's affected your customer business? So the flow that's coming into you, has it had any effect on that business?
We didn't out the way we were managing them. I mean, I must say that if you're looking at the last tens of pips, it gave us more security in terms of if you wanna catch the last 10 of pips, you have to take a risk somewhere, okay? Offering, bidding, whatever. Starting at a point when the difference between the bid and the offer becomes so shrinked, you don't have any more interest to take the risk to offer to pay, to offer to bid in a currency to make some more money, even if it is only 0.2 of pips or 1/10 of pips. If the spreads become so tight, that doesn't make any sense to try to catch another 10 of pips on the business you're getting. It takes off some risk on your side, so it was interesting. And then even we have at worst or at best executions, it was more interesting to get through the system clearly than to go through the ECNs. We're getting a better pricing for good amounts through the trader tool, through the aggregator, instead of having them ECNs. So it improves the relation with the customers, as they were getting a price that was clearly improved in compared to what they could have got if we did not have the aggregator.
Excellent. I'm going to move on to speak to Eran. Casti spoke a little bit about the onboarding process at UBP. From your perspective, what was it like?
Thanks, Eran. So, as I said, LightFX is an offering that we have, which uses the same product we use as in our enterprise solutions, but the objective and the point of LightFX is to deliver quickly and efficiently as streamlined as possible to the customer, the platform with the liquidity that is proper and that they need. So in order to do that, we had to go through a process where we package our already existing product into a solution that would allow for the streamlined rollout of LightFX customers in the quickest possible way. That included an analysis on the liquidity providers and the customer connectivity to our system, and in coming up with an STP solutions that are generic and out of the box provide the quickest ability for the positions that the customers execute to be delivered to their back offices. The providers, on the onset, what we've done is we've done analysis with their IT groups. And I would like to definitely thank the time that they've given us in order to come up with a process that we communicate between each other, that is agreed between us, and that would make the process more repeatable and quick. So we created processes which each liquidity provider, which include both operational process and the technical connectivity. For example, using connectivity such as cross connects, or even over the internet connections, dedicated internet connections that allow for very quick and for rollout to customers quick and en masse. The dedicated connectivity services all the multiple customers that we have at our hosting facilities, and it's a quick and efficient way. Cross connects, of course, have the benefits, as people know. And the operational process, definitely, which was set forth with the IT groups, really made it easier on us and on them to roll out the customer quickly and as efficiently as possible. For example, there's almost zero involvement of the firewall groups at the single banks, and really the process is very quick and understood by both sides. Customer connectivity is as simple as possible. We require the customer IT to be involved just in allowing for connectivity into our system. As we know, banks are protective of their environments, and just very simple permissioning that is set in place in order to allow for connectivity. For STP, which is obviously important, efficient, and quick for positions to get into the offices, we either integrated with other box solutions such as RTNS and upcoming serve, and or we integrate a solution directly to the customer's back offices. But
so, in summary, how long does it take, let's say, how long could it take to get a customer up and running?
So this whole process is efficient. We've been able to, once everything is in place from a business perspective, we could deploy a customer in a span of 2 weeks. And usually the slight impediments that are in place sometimes are on the firewall connectivity on the customer side. That could lengthen the process a bit. And sometimes it has to do with the prioritizations of the liquidity providers. Of course, they have, project queues on their side, and they need to prioritize everything on a case-by-case basis, and that's completely understood. But 2 weeks is definitely the way we can do it. The process is very simple. Once we've had enough liquidity providers in place, providing the proper liquidity to the customer, then we essentially go live. We conduct both functional GUI training for the traders at our customers, and we also add sort of a business workshop or business discussion where we amplifies the solution of the aggregator from a business perspective and go through the analysis with the customer, which is essentially what Casti mentioned before, analyzing the liquidity that they need, analyzing the order, their trading habits, and summarizing it, and eventually also sharing that with the liquidity providers in order for better business decision making. That process is iterative, of course. We do the onset, and then we see what happens. We give back to the liquidity providers, we give feedback to the customer, they give us back feedback, and then adjustments are obviously made on both sides, and on, until we see the asset experience, and over a span of a period of time, then the liquidity is optimized to the customer's needs.
Great. So, Ron, what are the LightFX tips for success? If we had to narrow it down to a couple. First of all, we're saying to prospective customers that they have nothing to lose. So to try LightFX now, compare the prices of what they're currently using, and only continue if they see the value. It's not just a sales pitch; it's the best way to determine if it's a good fit for you. Next, I would say choose liquidity providers with which you have the best relationships. Spread the liquidity too much around, as Casti mentioned before. You want the liquidity providers to have the incentive to giving you, the quality prices, quality executions, and that means that they have to see flow. So there's a balance in finding what the right number of liquidity providers for you would be. Also, work with the liquidity providers collaboratively with us, and make use of our consulting services to bring quality liquidity into the platform. We configure the system based on your trading patterns after discussing them with you, and work routinely with liquidity providers to optimize their service into LightFX. We strongly encourage our customers to share each liquidity provider's data with that liquidity provider. That information is a good basis for the liquidity provider to know where it stands, and it really provides value back to the liquidity provider. We'll be working on our analysis tools to bring even more intelligence to the liquidity provider and therefore more value. Of course, we keep each liquidity provider's data private to that liquidity provider, and obviously we do it with consultation with customers. We consider that our statistics and our consulting is our value add to both to the customers as well as to the liquidity providers. So altogether, I think those are really, when we introduce a new customer, these are the things that we're trying to for the customer, make sure that he gets the most out of the LightFX platform. Is there anything you want to add or emphasize from your perspective?
What was something that there are not many negative things you have to mention, right? But it can give an idea of the tool. What was interesting was that you speak to people that they know what you're talking about. When I see responsiveness, I saw the word responsiveness before. You have a problem with something in the platform, with whatever you need, certain settings, fine-tuning. We have been quite surprised the way they can respond in a quick way. You have something 30 minutes after it's effective in the platform. You don't have the problem anymore. It's simply a stupid question, stupid little things that helps you in trading, helps you not to make big mistakes, fat fingers, things like this. No, actually, we did not have so many problems. We had small problems, small things that are not dangerous, but just more administrative things on the. But we had the dangerous issues. That was what was interesting. I mean, it's quite well thinked. I think that the platform, it's not. I'm looking for something negative to say, but I don't have so many. Yeah, maybe. The only thing I would say, maybe, with the TraderTool is at the beginning to be really clear with what you need and what you're looking for. Not to have any difference between what they're looking at for you, and what you really need. This is the only thing.
Great. And I think it's also important that that we can and we're able to train the traders and salespeople, people that are going to be working with the system, so that they understand how it works, and so they know what to be looking for and how to do their business. So that's also important from our perspective. I think we've gone over a little bit, so I know we have a couple of questions here. Maybe I'll pick here. One of the questions is how many liquidity providers do you support, and how many ECNs? We support, I believe, something like 14 major bank liquidity providers, with some smaller custom APIs as well that are also in production. We support major ECNs, although I'd say that most of our customers are doing majority, if not, really overwhelming majority on the single bank platforms and not on the ENs, but for some specific special cases, they use the ECNs as well. Question about swaps and forward support. So that's something that we've already begun working on and looking at and doing the analysis on, and we hope to release it probably in the second half of next year. So we look forward to that as well. So just to conclude, first of all, I want to thank Casti and Eran and all the attendees. Appreciate your participation. I hope the webinar was informative. We'll make the webinar available online for reviewing, as we did with our first webinar with Mark Bergheim from Bayern Landesbank. I appreciate any feedback, so if you have any questions or issues you want to discuss with me about the webinar or ideas for additional webinars in the future, I appreciate it. Just either send it to you can send it to the email address that's on the screen now, or go through our website. That'd be great. So that concludes the webinar. I want to again thank everybody for joining. So take care.